What's up, chosen family? So we back, y'all. I just wanted to drop a quick video this morning, and talk about this is your final season of testing, right? And this is a very hard part in your journey as a chosen one, as you step into your season of abundance, your season of blessing. And right now, it does not seem like it's going to happen. There's a reason for that, because right before you catch your biggest blessing, there is a final testing. And I had to understand this myself, right? Because I am honestly going through that season myself right now, where I can tell it's like I can tell that I'm close to the finish line. The blessing felt so close in my reach, and then bam, a test got put in front of me to test my will, to make me realize that the power isn't in me, that the power is in God, which He put in me, right? And sometimes on this journey, we can feel like we're alone and feel like nobody's there when we're in our season of isolation, and maybe we did a purging already of old friends, old people, places, and things, right? And that season right there is hard enough, where you got to get rid of things that you have been accustomed to, the old friends, the old habits, the old places that you used to go, the old mindsets that you used to have, the old triggers that you used to have, things that used to trigger you, things that you used to trip on, but now you step over, right? And God keeps telling me that to just stay strong and realize that there is a purpose for everything. That even though around you it doesn't look like it's happening, but in fact, in the spiritual realm, it is happening. It's already happened. It's divinely orchestrated. That, if it's happening to you, it's actually happening for you. So whatever you could be going through in this season, whatever your testing is, understand that it is for your benefit, that it's not going to seem like that. But you have to understand that every battle that David faced in the Bible, when he faced Goliath, it looked like he had such little weapons, like he had such little things. But what others perceive as little, God perceives as big, because you have to understand your power as a king, as a queen, as one of God's chosen people. You have to understand that He put the power in you. So you can't look around you for the power, for the thing that you're going to use to defeat your Goliath. It's in you. The spirit that you carry, the heart that you carry, the love that you move in, the faith that you carry, the boundaries that you stand on, the truth that you stand on. You know who you are. You've went through so much in your life, and you understand that all the things that you went through, there is no way that it was for nothing. And that's where faith really has to come in, where you just have that mustard seed of faith, just a little bit, because I realized that the hardest testing is going to come in that final season before the blessing, where that breakthrough takes place. And I know that here's the funny thing is, this is how it works, right? And it happened for me as well, where it was like, man, I thought the blessing was here, but it's not yet. I wanted it to be here. And that's that ego death. That's that ego that God has to purge you with. And the enemy is going to attack during this time because he knows that you're vulnerable, because he knows that you think that it's already here, it's already done, and it is. But the thing is just because it hasn't manifested into the physical doesn't mean that it isn't there already in the spiritual. But you on this planet as a human, you have to become the greatest version of yourself and remember to stand on that faith when it doesn't look like it is happening. It's not going to always happen in your time. And the beautiful thing about it is it can feel like it took forever, and then he can just drop abundance all around you where things just start happening in sync, where it's God. And that's what he wants. He wants you to know that it was him that delivered it to you. He doesn't want you to think that it was just, although it is good to have hard work, it is good to have focus, to make sacrifices in life, because those are the very reasons why the blessing is yours. But he also wants you to know that it is him is where your power lies, that it is him is the reason of why you are where you are right now. And sometimes you have to learn to let that ego side get out of the way, because the enemy is the author of confusion. That's what he wants to do. The enemy wants to confuse you. He wants you to believe you're not worthy. He wants you to believe that your blessing is not here, that you're delusional. It's not going to come. He wants you to believe that. But you already know all the things that you've been through, and you've seen too many things that God has moved in your life. The synchronicities, the seasons of isolation, the times where God pulled you out of the darkness, where you didn't know how you were going to make it out. And he took you out of the darkness and moved you into the light, showed you who you were, gave you that divine power. But there's still things inside of you, like your ego, like my ego. Same with me. Like I said, I'm going through this season right now. That ego, where you gotta understand that you can't do it alone, that you need that divine connection. And sometimes life can get busy and distracting, and we can forget of who it is that truly gave us this power, that truly gave us this blessing and this light of life. You got to shove that ego to the side and realize that you're already blessed, you're already abundant, it's already yours, you already have it. Every day that you wake up is a blessing. You have to understand that there is someone in the world right now that doesn't know if they're going to make it another day. And that's what you have to stand on. You have to understand, that every single day, every single breath, every single person that you encounter is a blessing. Even if it's your haters. That's why the Bible says you have to hate those that hate, or love those that hate you, not to hate those that hate you. And there's a reason for that, because it's that ego side. It doesn't want you to move in an energy of ego where it's like retaliation. You don't need to do that. You need to understand that the battle is already won. You need to understand that as a chosen one, that you are to be godlike, that you are to be a physical representation of what God would do. So even when people curse me, even when people hate me, even when people judge me on my past, or who I used to be, or don't believe in me, when you keep showing up, you keep having faith, you keep moving in that light, you keep shining that light in the darkness, Eventually, some things can't be overlooked any longer. Eventually, even your haters will look at you and be like, man, something that I'm doing isn't right, and something that they are doing is right. So it's not just for you of why this is all happening. Just remember that God is 100, 1,000 steps ahead of you, ahead of me. So things that you can't even see right now is being orchestrated. Your testing, your hardship is not only for you to build you and to give you that faith, that character, that wisdom, that power, that understanding, and that divine connection to God, because the reason you have to go through that final testing is because he has to show you that when you're living it up, or you're living the dream life that you want, or you get all these blessings, that you can't forget where you came from. And it's easy to forget where you came from when everything's going good and life's moving fast. Unfortunately, humans, our natural thing is a lot of times we can forget where we came from. That's why the hardship that you had to go through at such an early age and most of your life built the character of who you are. That's why you have empathy. That's why you move in love. That's why you are light when you step into certain rooms. So you can't be upset when people reject you. It happened to Jesus too. A rejection is protection. If you are, trying to form new relationships and things like that, if you felt like you have been rejected, just know that you are being protected. You don't want more things that aren't going to appreciate you. You don't want more things that are going to take advantage of you or show you fake love. And God's not going to allow that in this season, because he's taking you somewhere where these people can't go. And he's going to use you as the light for them to look at. It's going to be an ego death for them as well, because they're going to have to realize, how did he or she do this? They knew what you made it through, and you came out shining. And when they look at that, when they look at you standing in the light, moving in love, moving in peace, moving in gratitude, being grateful, being thankful, being blessed, it's going to lead them to God. You got to understand that the hardship that you've been through is all for a purpose, and that because of that hardship is a reason why your steps miles, light years ahead of others around you. And that's why a lot of times we don't resonate with a lot of other people. So I just had that on my spirit this morning, and I just wanted to drop that to keep your head up, stay strong, have that mustard seed of faith, that even when things seem like they're not going right around you, or maybe it seems like you've waited for so long for a certain thing, understand that God has you in the perfect place at the perfect time. And you just got to see the small things, see that every day that you wake up is a blessing. And that every time you come in contact with somebody, show them that person that you've become. Show them your act of love. Show them the growth. And like I always say, stay focused, stay positive, stay blessed. And, if you want to sow into this word, I will put I will put the Cash App in the description if you want to sow into this word. You know, I pray that anybody that does sow into a word, that God will bless it times 10. You know, and even if you don't, I will always love and pray for you. You know, we are in this together. You know, us chosen ones are dealing with a lot of the same things, even if they're slightly different. We move in seasons as one, you know, because we're all divinely connected. So again, I love y'all, man, and I'll see you on the next video. Salute.